My name's Sarah, and this is my YouTube channel, and I don't know if you've noticed, but this is my graduation cap, and I have been officially graduated. So it's summer, and I'm excited because I don't have to worry about high school anymore. It's off to bigger and better things, which is college, and that's crazy to think about. So I'm just excited to be done, and we're not talking about that today. We're talking about books and how awesome they are, because that's what I like to talk about on my YouTube channel. So today we'll be doing a book haul, and I'll be telling you about all the books that I've got in the recent months. I mean, the last time I did a book haul was near Christmas, so some of these books have been quite a long time coming, and a lot of them I've read, and some of them I'm excited to read in summer. So here we go. This is my book haul. For the first book I got in the recent months is The Darkest Minds by Alexander Bracken. If you can't tell by the wornness on the spine and the folded pages, I have read this, and it met all of my expectations. Actually, I didn't even know what to expect with this book, and it was amazing. The Darkest Minds, when I first saw it, I was like, that sounds really dark, and for the beginning of it, it is. I mean, this girl, Ruby, she's in a concentration camp, and because she has this ability, be from this sickness, and all of them, except for a small portion of them, have died from this illness, and the ones that are left behind have these abilities, and the government is scared that there's all these kids running around with these powers. There's like levels of powers, and they've color-coded them by their gift, and Ruby is an orange, which means she can control minds, and she escapes this concentration camp, and it's like this crazy road trip with this gang of people, and it's Liam and Chubbs and Zoo and her, and how they're trying to find this secret camp where people can coexist with their abilities, and it was amazing. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars just because, wow, I'm a lot like Ruby. I'm very scared of the future and of things that are changing, and sometimes I just want to be a kid, and I can definitely see myself in her. So I very much recommend The Darkest Minds from all of its awesomeness. I love Liam and Ruby, their love interest. I am very interested in their love interest, and that's all I have to say about that. So I recommend this book for people who like dystopians, and superpowers, and weird things with the mind, and road trips, and battles, but also this very good flow of calm and then epicness, but it keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time. So there is The Darkest Minds. The next book I got at a indie bookstore up in Kent, Ohio when I bought this book. It's called Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, and this book has been all over BookTube. Everyone talks about it. They love the TV show, but they say it's amazing, so I had to get this book. It doesn't have the cover, so what I did was I put some stickers that I have collected over the time that I own it. I've started it, I think I'm like 2 chapters in, and it's very interesting. It kind of is slow right now just because I can totally tell they're building up this gigantic world that they are bringing together. It is about this girl, and she finds a portal, I think it is, to Scotland, way back when. It is like far in history. So it is just about this girl meeting this guy named Jamie, who is this Scottish warrior, and her in the civilization, is she happy because she's a newlywed to a soldier right after World War II, and this is like them going on their honeymoon to Scotland, and then she gets thrusted into this crazy world. Sorry if that's a really bad synopsis, but that is what I've come to the conclusion of from my non-cover and the words inside. So I definitely am excited to venture into this journey and this adventure. It seems very interesting, and I can't wait to tell you all about it when I'm done. So the next book is called The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, and I got this at the same store I got Outlander. Honestly, I picked it up and I looked at it and I was like, to old books and tales, and it looks very bookish, and I think I would like it because I like books, and a book with books on it just seems like it's about people who like books, but it's about this girl named Dinah Winter, and she has been collecting this collection of books. She has 12, and she's been searching out for the 13th one, and it's a journey. I really don't know that much about it, but that's okay. Sometimes I don't really like to learn a lot about books. Sometimes I just like to dive in, and I'm happy that I've never really heard a lot about this book, but that it is a #1 New York Times bestseller, so I trust in the city's bestseller list. So there it is. There it is. The next book is kind of the opposite of the 13th Tale because I have heard so much about this series, so many good things, even from people in my school who are like, Sarah, I know you like to read, you should read Third Class because it's awesome. And then I've been like listening to people talk about, Sarah, you have to read this. Well, they are not saying, Sarah, you have to read this, but I can feel them saying, I feel them sitting there recording it thinking, that girl Sarah, she needs to read this book. So I bought it at Joseph Beth Booksellers. They are an independent bookstore in Cincinnati. And I didn't even know what I was missing until I read this, started reading this. Selena is so kick-butt awesome assassin of this kingdom, and she's taken on so many odds. She's defeated them, and she is awesome. And then basically the prince comes and he's like, hey, my dad has it holding this competition to find the world's greatest assassin. If you win, you get to work with him for 5 years and then you're free. She was like, well, I can't, it's either stay in a death camp or do this competition. I mean, I'm the kingdom's most notorious assassin, so I'm not gonna be in this competition. So she goes to the castle, and it's about her learning about herself and each challenge. There's all these different challenges to see if she's gonna be the best of the assassin, and all this stuff. It is so epic. Like, I've not been bored yet. Every sentence, oh my gosh. And I'm so excited to continue on with the series. There are 3 books out right now and like a collection of novellas, so I'm not gonna stop here. I have a feeling this is gonna go by really quickly. And I'm done talking about that. The next book I have here in my hand right now is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. That. And this is a historical fiction novel. I also got this in the independent bookstore at Kent State, so thank you for that. In the Kent area, not at the university, but this is a big book, and I love historical fiction. I do. I love it so much. Some of my favorite books are historical fiction novels, and this book just really has catched my eye. I love the title and the premise of these 2 characters coming together under certain circumstances. One is a blind girl that lives in France, and her father builds a replica of the city so that she is able to get around the Arab area, and that is before Nazi occupies Paris, and that changes their whole world. And then it is another side of it with a boy who is in the Hitler Youth program in Germany, and it's him and her and how they kind of come together. I don't know that much about it because I have not read it, but oh, I'm so excited to read this summer and learn about blind girls in Paris and Hitler Youth and how it all comes together. Plus, I really like the cover. I think it's beautiful. And I only got it for almost $8, so win-wins are wins. The next book I got of the real books is Never Fade, which is the next book in the Darkest Minds trilogy. So guys, I got the second book. Got it at Joseph Beth. I don't know why I didn't put these in order by the places I got. I really should have thought this through before I recorded this video. Anyway, Never Fade, the continuation. Don't know because I haven't read it. But I have it, so I'm excited. I think these books, is it just me, or are these books like so heavy? Like really heavy for just a paperback book. It's a chunk. It is a chunk of pages right here, but I know it's action-packed. I'm so excited to continue on. I think the covers are, look at how shiny they are though. I mean, and the compass. So I feel like there's a lot going on here, a lot of things to dive into. Liam's in it, so that's okay. And it's going to be great, and I'm excited. Okay guys, you probably, I don't know, I have never seen this anywhere on the internet. This book right here, and I feel really proud to be now recording me having this book because I'm excited to read it so much. I'm so excited because nobody's heard of it, and I like it. Okay, it's called A Little Something Different, and it's definitely a little something different. I mean, I really wanted a cutesy romance book, and I think this is going to give it to me, but in a very different way. In these small letters, it says 14 viewpoints, one love story. And when I read that, I was like, I don't know if I want to read that. Like 14 different viewpoints. How are we going to understand the story? How are we going to get into personal stuff? And oh my gosh, I love this idea. It is about a boy and a girl, and they're in the same creative writing class. They're in college. Their last year of college. I think they're in their 4th year of college, but what's really cool is all the different points of view. I mean, it's amazing. You have like the squirrel, and he's like, I like nuts. Oh look, there's a girl, she's eating nuts. I'm gonna look all pretty, and maybe she'll give me a nut. I got a nut, I ate the nut. Yum yum. Who's that boy that's sitting by her? Oh, they're really cute. And then there's like an old waitress at this diner, and she's like, I always like to sit people together, and oh, look at those two, I'm gonna sit them. It's all these people and how they like view them and how they just know they're meant to be together throughout the story, but it's also an amazing storyline of how these two, again, I haven't read it yet, I don't know where it goes, but I'm so excited to find out why it's a little something different, because I already know it's a little something different. 14 viewpoints. That's so many characters to figure out. And I love cutesy summer reads for the summertime. Hi guys, sorry I look a little different. I got my hair cut. It's been a couple days, but I wanted to add this into my haul that I filmed because we all know how great this is, even though it's brand new. And if you don't know, the cover should explain itself, because this gem looks like paradise with pages. And it is called An Ember in the Ashes by Sahaba Tahir, which just sounds really cool. Again, another reason why I'm excited to read this book. But the most important reason is, what is it about? It is about a society, it's kind of like this, it's an empire that is inspired by the Roman Empire, which is a really amazing, is a very well-known historical empire that had took over most of the Middle East and eventually fell, but it was known to be very brutal. And the characters are set in this very hostile environment, ruled by soldiers and emperors and things like that. And it sets around a soldier, which he is the finest, but you'll realize he's not really he does not want to be a soldier. He wants to be fighting against what is going on, and it is also about a slave. And they put into slavery the very finest of the scholars. So this girl is not stupid. She knows what she's talking about, and they put her into slavery because she can basically think for herself. So yeah, it seems awesome. Obviously there's a romance in it, but it's also action-packed, and it just sounds very interesting. I have not heard a book like this that is its own world, because if you can see, you know how much I love maps, and this one just looks like empiring the land. They're taking over from sea to shining sea. Well, anyway, back to the video. I just wanted to add this to this. Bye. The last book I have purchased more recently is A Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and I read this over spring break, and I loved it. I loved it. It's really epic. Like, you don't think there's a lot going on here. There's so much. The biggest thing I liked about this book was it was very different in the fact that it's about a princess, but she escapes before her wedding because she doesn't want to marry this, like, somebody she doesn't know. She just thinks it's probably an old guy who I don't know, and I'm gonna have to be married to him because my parents are unhappy. I don't want to be like them. I don't want to have to rule a castle. I'm leaving. So she leaves to live this simple life in this little village and just be simple and not have to worry about anything and just be a waitress in a tavern. And doesn't that sound nice? Yeah, that would be great if that was where it ended. If that was it, perfect. But that's not where it ends, because then you switch viewpoints. You switch to the assassin and the prince, and you don't know who's who. You learn their names, but you don't know which one matches with the name. And the whole time you're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, like, she's falling in love with one. What if he's the assassin? Or she's being really nice to this guy. Is he the prince? You root for one and then you realize he's the other. And when it switches, when you realize who they are, it is the biggest plot twist. A lot of people have actually read this and called it. He's like, I knew he was, I knew he was the assassin. I didn't. I thought that the guy who was the assassin was the prince. So it was a big shock. So it doesn't end there. And there's still going to be, I think, 2 more books in the series. I know the next one, which is The Heart of Betrayal, comes out next month in July, and I'm so excited to read it, to just figure out more about these characters in this world, because there is like this whole other, here's the map, but there's like this whole other world out there that I have like learned about with this dark magic that's kind of looming over, and she has this power that we don't even know about. They didn't even really touch on it, and I'm excited to realize what it is and figure out magic, because I like magic. Alright, that is my book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment below if you would like a video. Just give me your suggestions. Talk things through if you like me. If you like my overalls, say sweet overalls. And